Hello, I am that Rob Human, and this is part 14 of my Tabletop Playground mod development series, rather. In this episode, we're going to be developing a scripting library. In one of the interludes that I'd previously recorded, I can't even remember which episode it was, I mentioned that there are kind of three paradigms of library utility systems when it comes to mods for Tabletop Playground. This is the third paradigm. This is going to be a library that exists purely on like npm or whatever package system that you happen to do. It's actually will end up being part of the greater JavaScript ecosystem, just specialized for Tabletop Playground. So that's actually the mod that we're going to write today. We're going to start developing it within the same mod that we've been doing, but we're actually going to extract it and put it in its own library, and I'll be walking you through how to get it into GitHub and use GitHub Actions to build it and deploy it to NPM. So that way people can simply add it to their scripting project for Tabletop Playground and utilize it. So this is kind of the I don't want to say it's an advanced scripting series, because it's not actually going to be all that advanced compared to some of the stuff that I've planned. But it is kind of like this is our first major step outside of the confines of just Tabletop Playground itself. So let's dive into it. So this mod, we should probably start defining what we want this to do. I kind of alluded to it in one of the previous things here, and I'm just going to boot up a start state so I can explain what I'm talking about. And this pertains particularly to PDFs. So this is a PDF object. Again, this is one-page rules is rulebook, and it only has 2 pages, but one of the things that you can already kind of figure if you are using this at all is there's no, there's no navigation controls in the world for this PDF browser. You can right-click and switch to the next state, or you can toggle through using R and Control R. That's cool, but you can also use the viewer, but even the viewer is a little lacking in my opinion. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to add in our first step, we're going to add a UI that contains a couple buttons that will let you use, that'll let you scroll through the PDF. I'm probably going to put them at the bottom. So you can have a next page, previous page, last page, first page, potentially even next chapter, that kind of thing. I'm also going to try adding a button for table of contents, and a button for search, so you can have indexed, indexed keyword thing that you can search and be like, oh yeah, I want this, and click on a page number, and it'll load that page. That kind of thing. That's my overall plan, and I'm going to build this in a way that will be its own module. So the end consumer will basically invoke a single function to be like, hey, this is a PDF. This is its width and its height, and here's the table of contents, and here's my index system, and it'll all be typed out so that it's robust, so they'll have less of a chance to mess up implementing it or utilizing it. So that's our overall plan. I haven't even done a rough draft of this, so I only have the idea in the back of my head, so this might be a little bit more even more debuggy-y than the last episode, which was already pretty bad. So you're kind of getting this raw, so wish us luck. So to begin with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the script within the confines of the tutorial series thing, and then I will actually extract the library code to its own package, and then just utilize it, so that way I can deploy that separately. So for now, we're actually gonna, I'll just create a PDF lib. It would help if I spelled that right. We're just gonna do a directory, and we'll do index.ts. I think we're actually gonna use tsx, because we're gonna have UI elements. So, we're gonna do that. We'll do that, so eventually we'll add that to the PDF object, but we'll get to that. So to start with, what do we need? I'm gonna start with kind of outlining my my entry point, I suppose, as I tend to do. And this is not going to be an efi. This is going to be a called an exported function. So we'll do, I don't know, export const PDF browser. Sure. And we want the object that this will be referenced by, and this is actually going to be a multi-state object. And options. PDF browser options. Cool. And we're going to define this type. PDF browser options. And that's just an empty object for now. So like they'll be able to pass in certain parameters, whether they want the buttons at the top, the bottom, the width of the thing, the height of the thing, and so forth. So actually we'll need that for sure. So width, you know what, let's actually do that. Width, number, height. I want these to be required fields, so we'll just add that as direct parameters. And options, we'll do, we're just going to leave that blank for now. We'll fill those in as need be. Okay? Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't have a plan for this. I'm making this up as I go. So you're getting this raw, like I said. But let's do the control bar, right? That's a fairly simple place to start. So we'll do a UI. Const bar UI equals new UI element. Cool. And at the end of all of this, we'll do object.add UI bar UI. Now, obviously, this is going to yell at me because I don't have a widget set up. Oh well. I'm going to assume bottom or top. And we're going to do something here. We're actually going to do this as a partial. Options equals options. We'll do default options. Don't worry. This will make sense in a second. Default options equals. Oop. Here we go. Position. Actually, we're going to do this. User options. Const options equals default options and user options. This should come back as a... I want to declare the type on that. Awesome. Okay, so basically what this does here is a partial is a TypeScript generic type, and basically this means they can send in any of these, and it can be a partial declaration of them, so like they don't necessarily need to send in the position, but they can if they want. So like they might invoke it like this. 8.5, 11, and then they might say position bottom, or they might have it be an empty object, right? In fact, watch this. Now it's optional entirely, so I can be like this. And the way that this works is the options object will be the default options plus any parameters that they have put in, and it'll overlay those on top. So it'll be any user option sent with a fallback of default options, and I'll be referencing that as the options throughout all of this. Why that's relevant is you'll see in a second. So we're going to assume default parameters, and we'll play with that in a minute. So bar UI dot scale equals 0.5, because I do that on all my things. Bar UI dot anchor x equals 0.5, and bar UI dot anchor y equals if options dot position is equal to bottom, we want that to be 0. Otherwise, we want it to be 1. It would help if I actually typed my ternary operators right. So this basically says where they want stuff to be, well, anchored. Excuse me. Okay, so let's see. Bar UI dot position equals new vector, and we want this to be 0. The y will actually be something special. So we do. We want height divided by 2 times if options dot position is equal to bottom 1, otherwise negative 1. So basically, if the options is set to the top, it'll, I think, move the UI to the top. This is actually what puts the position there. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of inline ternary operations. Don't judge me. And let's just get a widget in there to just, I don't know, button. Yeah, button, why not? Okay. Oh, yarn, watch that. Cool. And for the PDF item, we'll do okay, let's get our EFI. Cool. If object instance of multi-state object PDF browser object, and we're going to do width, which is 8.5 inches, but the game universe uses centimeters, so we'll multiply that by 2.54. Okay. So this is what the consumer of the library should ever potentially use. I mean, there'll be more options, but we'll get to that. But that's kind of the intent here. And yeah, I did this object instance of multi-state object just to satiate this, and this should catch. In fact, if we do this, else console.error. There we go. Okay, so let's go in here and edit this template and do this. Oh, and as you can see, we have the wrong vector here. This is actually kind of surprising. I thought that would be the, Let's lift this up on the Z. Do we actually want that to be -1? Ah, it turns out we do. Fancy that. Also, I'm not sure if I have that right. 2.54 times 8 is 20.23, or 20.32. 11 times 2.54 is 27 point... Interesting. .54. Huh. Okay, so this doesn't actually use 8.5 by 11. No, that's okay. The simple solution here is to just 29 by 20. Okay, we'll set that as the height. $29, $20. Ah, interesting. Oh. 20 by 29. There we go. That's better. Was I doing that backwards? It doesn't matter. Okay, so we will... That's... Cool. I probably should add a Z option for it. Z offset number. Cool. So now we can do options dot. I know what you're thinking. I mean, why didn't I just put that as another argument? And that's because, you know, I want it to be optional. I don't want them to have to think about it if they don't want, and they can tweak it later. Okay, so we have this button, and right now it's just a test. Fancy. All right. So now, what do we need? What's next? I'm gonna look something up real quick. Bear with me. Okay, sorry for the interlude. I had a thought that I wanted to make sure I could do. Normally I would actually import another library here, but I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna use a set of things that I have here. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. Bear with me. Okay. We're going to set up a couple constants up here. Play. Icon slash media slash play dot ping. Cool. And just to show you what this is for, I mean, you're not going to be able to tell, but this is actually a play button. You can't really make it out, I'm sure. But I've got some UI icons up on this specific Git repo. I'll go into how you can actually access this for your own projects if you'd like, but for now, we're just going to do this. I'm going to need a... I don't know. What do we want here? We're going to need a step forward, no doubt. Oh, back. Hosted. There we go. Icons. Media. There we go. Is this forward? Sure. forward, backward. Call this icon forward, icon backward. And this is the, this is forward, backward. We'll do first. Oh, we want step backward. The debate going on in my head is obviously we want play in reverse to be the, you know, I'm going to use these for the backward and forward, you know, next page, previous page, dealy. But also I want to be able to skip chapters. So excuse me, or sections rather. So we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do this for like next chapter, and then have the or is it last for last page? Because maybe you want to get to the last page. I don't know. Last, first, last, next chapter, and last chapter. I'm just going to do it this way. Last chapter. We'll do next preview. Yeah, first, last, next preview, next chapter, last chapter. And yeah, last, and just to make sure I have the right one, media forward. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And not last, previous. Yeah, so next, previous, next chapter, previous chapter, first, last. Awesome. So we'll do image button URL equals icon last. And we're going to set the width for this to be 64. Let's do 32. Not that it really matters. We'll play with that later. Icon prev chapter. Icon prev. Icon next. Icon next chapter. And icon last. This should actually be first, right? Sure, let's take a look and see how that looks. Come into here. Ooh, not what I expected. Why not? That's because I have a problem with the texture that I generated. Yep. Okay, so don't worry, we'll fix that later. So obviously they don't do anything right now, and I think we can actually const. Let's be smart about this. That way I'm only changing it in one place. Sure. Why not? That'll work. Okay. Now we need to actually have this do something. So let's get a couple functions defined. You know what? I'm actually going to set this up to be over here. Const set page equals multi-state object. And page is a number. Okay, so if we do object dot get state count, get num states. There it is. Object.get num states is greater than page and page is greater than equal to 0 because we don't want any rollovers. We'll do object.set state page. Actually, let's even just throw that in here as a helper function. Right in here. Awesome. And let's do a couple. Yeah, we can define those in line. Why not? First, so we do on click. Okay. And we'll do last. Set page object.get num states. I don't know if that's actually going to complain. Number of states -1. Yeah. Because number of states, the 0th state gives a number of states of 1, so we want to set it to numbers. That'll do. Badoop. Badoop. Cool. Obviously the rest of these don't do anything. So let's change that. Previous is going to be this object.get. Is it get state? Okay, cool. And that will do the same thing. Awesome. Now, this is a really bad example because this PDF only has 2 pages, so kind of anticlimactic. I'm going to change this icon error off screen, by the way, so don't worry about that just for now. By the time that this gets added to everything, it'll be fixed, but for now we'll just ignore it. And so chapters, we don't have anything because, well, we don't have any chapters defined. That will end up getting added in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna go refill my coffee real quick, and we'll dive back into this and figure out our next step. All right, bear with me. Okay, I have my coffee. Let's dive back into this. I'm going to see if I have another icon available. I should. Maybe not. Status window, notices, media arrows. No, I don't. I don't have a good icon for this. So I might actually repause this and add another icon to this repository. Be right back. Okay. Also, I fixed that backwards key issue. So I've gotten a couple more icons added to the repo. Icon list. We'll call it talk, table of contents. And this will be format unordered list. Icon search. Actions search. Okay, so we'll have 2 more buttons. This will be onClick won't do anything yet, so I'll actually take that handler out. Icon talk. We'll do icon search. Fantastic. Oh, we want UL, not OL. There we go. Okay, so we've got our table of contents, which will pop up a thing. We'll do search, that'll pop up a thing. And then we have our navigation controls here. Now, obviously, this doesn't do anything yet. And the reason why is because the way I'm planning to do this is if you click this, it will actually open up a modal, I guess you could call it, above the PDF where it'll list out the chapters. But, you know, Tabletop Playground has no way to access the table of contents that gets embedded into the PDF. So we're going to have to give a mechanism for the end consumer to be like, yeah, this is the table of contents. So let's provide that. Okay. Let's see. So we'll do talk will be, let's see, a key of string number. Cool. So when they pass in a TOC, a talk object, we'll take a look at those tables of contents. And for now I'm going to do a const has TOC equals object dot keys options dot talk dot length is greater than 0. Okay. And then we'll be like disabled. Oh. Equals. If it does not have a talk, then we'll disable that. So now it's disabled because we haven't passed in a table of contents. So let's actually pass in a table of contents. So, comma, cool. Talk is chapter 1. Will be on page 0. Chapter 2 will be on page 1. And this is a 2-page PDF. Work with me here. And you know what? Actually, while we're at it, we'll test position top. Because why not? Okay, so we'll right-click, reload scripting, and hey, the controls are at the top, and this is no longer disabled. Awesome. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Prefer that at the bottom, though, so we'll keep that at the bottom. Okay. So let's actually make that table of contents do something. Well, how do we do this? We'll do another UI element. New UI element. Okay. Yeah. In fact, we can actually scoot some of this up out of the way here. Cool. We'll do our function calls and our status effects there. Or our status is there. So overlay UI dot scale equals 0.5 as always. And we'll do anchor X at 0.5 and anchor Y at 0.5. Overlay. Cool. And bar UI dot position. We want this to be centered 0, 0 options dot Z offset. Cool. Oh, that's overlay UI, not bar UI. Okay. Now, obviously, the overlay UI does not have a widget, so we'll do this. Widget equals render, and we're going to use a different object here. This is going to be a... I guess we should use a switch. Sure. Yeah, we'll do a switch. Actually, we'll start with a layout. Then we'll do a switch. Value equals 0. I don't think that actually matters, but we'll deal with that in a second. Width equals... this is going to be wrong, but width equals height, because I can't remember what the scaling factor is. Something I haven't mentioned before is that game units and UI units are actually different. So I can't remember the scale conversion, but we'll see. And I'm actually going to set this up as a border as well. And color we'll use, sure, 111. Why not? Actually, just to make sure that we're actually rendering that right, we'll do that. Okay, and we'll add that UI to the thing, and it's going to render right away. Okay, yeah. Now, I'm going off memory here. I think it's 10. It might actually be 100. Or it might be... It's not 100. Yeah, okay, so it's 20. And we're actually going to give it a little bit of padding, so... Padding. Excellent. Okay, so, I mean, yeah, it's showing up here, and we don't want that to actually be visible at all times. I'm going to set that to 111, so it's a nice... You know, we'll go with black. Okay. And hidden... something with JSX, by the way, if you actually just give the parameter or the attribute name without a value, it basically means true. So this is equivalent to this. So we'll say hidden, and it won't be visible. And that's good. I'm going to need a ref here. We'll overlay ref. And ref is overlay option ref. Now I happen to find those. We'll get to that in a second. Actually, we'll get to that right now. Const overlay ref equals new, use ref. This is going to be a layout box. Yes. And overlay option ref is a widget switcher. Okay. We'll do that. That'll... Cool. So now we need this click to... I'm going to have this click pop open the overlay now. And so we do this. On click equals overlay ref.current set visible true. And we'll do overlay option ref set active widget 0, or set active index to 0. That's going to complain because we don't actually have a thing, so we'll just add I don't know, a button that says talk. Why not? There we go. Isn't that neat? Now obviously this button's taking up this whole thing, and we don't want that. So let's actually make this fancy. We'll do this as a vertical layout box, and we want the V align of this to be vertical alignment dot top. Cool. And the first instance, we're going to call this a table of contents. Awesome. See, neat. Now this might actually be an instance where I scale down this by 0.25. Let's take a look and see how that looks. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. We'll change the size of this around a little bit. Make these 32. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Font, what is this, size? Size equals 16? I'm not sure. Justify equals text justification dot center. Can I do this underline? I didn't think so. Bold. But we can bold it. Neat. And in fact, we can also do this. Border, color equals. Give it a nice heading wrapper. Neat. See? Table of contents. Isn't that neat? And then... we could do that. You could probably make it so that you can close it here. And I will probably also add a close button in the top of this. So let's do that. Horizontal box. And we'll do an image button equals icon close, which I have yet to define, on click, which I have yet to define. That's okay. Close, icon close. And this will be a size of icon size divided by 2. We want that to be half size. And this is going to look wrong. Don't worry, I know. Yep, that's kind of what I figured actually, but I anticipated that. That's okay. Horizontal box, we want H align to be horizontal alignment dot fill. And we're going to actually wrap this text element in a special thingy. This box child. This box child basically says the one is the weight. You know, how much room do you want it to take up horizontally? And so the one means take up one fraction of the thing, and image button having a default. I think the idea here, what this should happen is the text will take up as much room as possible, and the image button will take up as little room as much room as it needs, which is what I want. Yeah, see, perfect. We can close that. So we'll change this to, we're actually gonna, yeah, because you know what, I'm gonna invoke this elsewhere, so close talk equals, and we'll add a new one called open talk equals false. Stop it, there we go. So we can change this to close talk, and I'm actually thinking maybe we want to store just a local state, and it doesn't have to persist. Is talk equals false. It doesn't have to persist, so we don't have to save it to any kind of object state, and that's fine. Talk false is talk equals true, and this way we can be like is talk, then we close talk, otherwise open talk. Alright, let's take a look at that now. Reload scripting. This should close it, open it, and that should close it. Awesome! It's exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, now we have more to worry about here. Yeah, so now we actually need to use the chapters. So we've got our talk in the options, and that is a key value pair of string for the key, number for the other thing. So let's do I mean, this should actually be relatively simple. Object dot entries of options dot talk map key page. We just need this to return a button. Key. Right? And that, I think. Oh, you know what? We need to... What's that error? I was expecting type element is not assignable to type element or box child element. Am I in the right? Should be in the right place, right? Yeah, this should. You know what? Let's try this. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna experiment a little bit here. That's weird. I don't know why it doesn't like that, because this vertical box should accept it just fine. Fascinating. This might actually be a bug with the JSX parser that I wrote. It's okay. This actually works out better. And I'll explain in a second. Box child. Yeah, we'll need to do this. Box child 1. Stop that. There we go. Okay. Hey, stop that. There we go. It all makes sense once I actually hit Control Save, so the prettier handles that. Okay, so basically what this does is it gives it another vertical box inside of that. And the way that the reason why this is actually good is because if there are more entries than can be displayed, the scroll bar will appear here instead of all the way up here. So you won't scroll the table of contents window off the pane, with the header off the pane, and that's actually a good thing. So this works out well. And on click, we will set page. And this should work. Aha! Chapter 1. Chapter 2. And also we want to close the talk when we do that. Oop. To do. Hey, page 2. Page 1. Awesome. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Okay. Let's see. Can I actually change the text justification of this? Let's find out. Justify text justification dot left. I guess not. That's slightly annoying. I wonder if that's actually something to do with the vertical box. So let's try h-align horizontal alignment dot left. It's not quite what I was hoping for. You know what, though? That's actually okay. We're going to do this a little bit differently. We'll do return, and instead of using a button, we'll use a content button. We'll yoink this on click. And the content will be a horizontal box, the box child 1, which will have the name, or the key. Actually, let's rename that chapter name. Chapter page. And then we'll have chapter page. Not quite what I was hoping for. Oh, that's because I still have this horizontal line. I'm not sure if that'll actually work. Yeah, that doesn't work. Well, that's annoying. Huh. Let's actually take a look at the API docs and see if I'm just missing something. We might have found a bug in the JSX parser. We might not have. Not sure. Set justification. Yeah, button should be justifiable. Let's try it again. Interesting. Oh, that's totally a bug. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this real quick. You're gonna come with me on this journey. Let's take a look. JSX and TTPG. Let's take a look and see what button, image button, content button, button element. Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Yep. If justify in attrs. That's why. That's exactly why. Have I done that elsewhere? Let's find out. Yep, I did. Oh, man. Oops. So, just to let you in on the joke here. ATTRs justify, attributes.justify. Basically, I'm checking for truthiness, not to see if it's undefined or not. And the way that JavaScript enums work is justification dot left has a value of 0, which is falsy. So this will be like if attributes.justify is falsy, then, or is not falsy, then set the justification. But it shouldn't be falsy. I need to check explicitly for undefined. So, that's fun. Yep, did it here too. Okay, Now we've got that in the right place. You're going to see me push an update to this. Don't you feel lucky? Oh, man. All right, so we got version 2.2.2. Good. I'm just going to review this real quick and make sure that, yep, those are the only changes I made. Let's text justification. Falsy. Bug. All right, we'll synchronize that. Yeah, it's fine. We'll come over to GitHub. And sure, I have nothing to hide here. JSX and TTVG. And we'll go to releases, and we'll draft a new release. Choose tag 2.2.2. What did I put for the commit message? Sure. Publish the release. Let GitHub Actions do its thing. We'll sit tight for that. And let's go ahead and... Oh, we need to push this to 2.2.2. Let's do a yarn install. Cool. So we've got version 2.2.2, and we'll make sure by coming into here and be like JSX and TTPG 2.2.2.2. Awesome. Okay. That was fun. Always an adventure. And now it works. Oh, man. Okay, so we've got chapter 1 and 2. We click this, it goes to chapter 2, which is page 2, of course. Chapter 1 is that. Now, what's fun here is all the PDF is going to be, like, page-based. Right? So, like... But I'm expecting the chapter name to be zero indexed, and I'm not sure that I actually want that. I think I actually want this. So what I'm going to do is chapter page -1. There we go. That's better. Cool. Page 1 and page 2. And I'm actually going to go back to that content button version of this, and the reason for that is because well, we're going to try it. Actually, no, I know it won't work. Never mind. Because content button doesn't actually respect horizontal alignment, I don't think. You know, let's try it anyways. Content button. Content button. This is going to be a horizontal box. Oop. The first entry is going to be a box child with a weight of 1. And the next will be a text. We can actually just do page. Chapter page. This is a h-align horizontal alignment dot fill. That should work. I don't know if content button will actually like let it take up the full width though. Yeah, it's kind of what I was afraid of. Unfortunately, I don't know of a good way around that. Yeah, okay, we'll just go back to the button. Wait. I know I mentioned to plasticity that this was a thing. I don't know if they actually made a change to it, so let's take a look. Content button. Did they add alignment? No. Okay, they haven't added it yet. I'm not sure if they will, but they might actually add H-align and V-align to it. Yeah, okay. I doubt it, but maybe adding a layout will actually do the thing. I don't think it will. I don't think that'll actually make a difference. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, so we'll just leave it as the vanilla button. Would be nice, though. Cool. All right, so let's talk search. I'm actually going to increase the padding on this as well to 20. Maybe even 25. Sure. Whatever. I'm bike shedding. Anyways. So we got table of contents. Cool. And now let's do the search. Search is the next one. Search is going to be the other entry in this switch. I'm going to collapse this so it's out of the way. And we're going to do a vertical box, v-align vertical alignment dot top. This is going to be fairly similar to the table of contents, but we'll play with that. And this is going to be similar here. We'll do an. Actually, we probably want to do a ternary state here. So let is overlay mode none, and we'll define a type. Overlay mode equals none or talk or search. Cool. So overlay mode equals talk none. If overlay mode is equal to talk, then it will say close talk, close talk. And actually, we can just close overlay, because we'll recycle that for when we do the search. Open search equals, and this is actually the same exact thing, except search 1. Cool. So we can basically just copy this, put that there, overlay made search, close overlay, otherwise we open search. Neat. Let's have our first item be the search. Not the search, but like a title bar. Right? So in theory, if I click this, we get search. We close that. Cool. We click that. That closes. Go to table of contents. Cool. If I click this, it should switch over to search. If I click this, it should go back to the table of contents. Awesome. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Now the next element here is going to be a... what will the next one be? The next one will be search. And this is going to be an input. Oh. There it is. We want that here. Input. Yeah. Okay. We don't actually need anything special for that, do we? Yeah, there it is. I mean, let's zhuzh it up a little. And let's do a horizontal box. Cool. We'll do a text that says search. And we'll box child this with a weight of 1, so it takes up as much room as possible. Yeah, sure. Can I do a size here? Not sure if that's actually the default size. Yeah. Now let's actually change that V align to center. Cool. Let's add in a bit of a gap, just to give that label some breathing room. And we can do a little bit more than that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So now, let's actually define what we're going to index. What we're actually searching for. Index is going to be a key of string, and it could be a number, or it could be an array of numbers. Trust me. It's fine. It's okay. So for that, we'll do index, and let's define our search parameters a little bit here. So let's say, oh, I don't know, playing the game, right? Is on page 1. And I don't know, movement. Is on page 1 as well as on page 2, because maybe there's a thing that talks about movement on page 2. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. So, anyways, that's our index. So now we need to make it so that when the input changes, what is this, on commit, we'll do run search. We'll do, why not, LP value, do search value. Well, we don't have that defined yet. That's okay. Const do search value is a string, and this. Okay. So, what do we need this to do? We need this to basically, when you type something in, we need to check against the keys of the index option and return a list of pages based on that index, right? All right. So let's do that. But first, I'm going to do something slightly different where, ooh, you know what? Yeah. Sorry, the thought that I'm having here is, if it's empty, we want it to display nothing, because nothing's been searched for. Or maybe we want it to display everything. I'm not sure. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, so we have this, well, let's get all the objects where they match. All the key value pairs where they match. So results will be object.entries of options.index. That option.index, again, is that object there. And we'll filter based on, yeah, we'll filter this. Cool. This is going to be the key. actually, you know what? We're okay with keys. Object.keys. So we'll filter this based on k. And if k.includes value, we'll return that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can actually just do it like that. Cool. So now results will be a filtered string, or filtered array of keys. Awesome. You know what? I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. To lower includes. Is this? I kind of want to convert this to 2 lowercase. I don't want it to be cap sensitive. But the indexes are, but that's okay. Here we're gonna play with this a little bit. Options dot index equals fun objects dot entries options dot index dot reduce. Number or number hack key value turn ack key dot to lowercase. Okay, so this basically just converts all the keys to lowercase. That's not actually good, because now it'll render in lowercase. Ooh. There. That solves that. We're good. Okay, so once we have the results, what do we want to do with it? Well, we want to put this on the screen. To do that, we're going to do the same thing that we did here-ish. Oop, too far. So we're just going to steal this for a sec. Nope. Ah. Wait a sec. Yeah, okay. There's what we want. Except I don't want to actually display this. We just want to have this vertical box at the ready. So I'm going to give this a ref, search results ref. This is going to be fun. Okay, so search results ref, awesome. Const search results ref equals use ref, and this is going to be a vertical box. Now at this point we can build like search results ref dot current remove all children, clear it out, right? Current dot. Okay, yeah, we can insert children like that. Awesome. So we have our search results. So we can do results for each. This is the key. At which point we can do search results ref dot current dot add a child. And we can actually just render a new JSX element, can't we? Box child 1 key, And we can do objects, we can do options, index, key. Awesome. And now this might actually be an array, isn't it? Okay, so let's actually pull const pages equals that. Pages could be, yeah, either a number or an array of numbers. So a good way to do this, by the way, is array this, otherwise that. So basically this forces it to always be an array. Or it should. Why isn't it doing it that way? Interesting. I don't know why that's complaining. We'll do it like this. Const b equals that. Much better. Now it's always an array of numbers. This basically goes, if it's an array, then give me the array. Otherwise, turn it into an array. It's a really handy trick to keep it consistent when you want to have an array or value set up like we do in over here. So this could be a number, or this could be a number array. This kind of normalizes that. So we'll do search results ref dot current dot add child. And we can do a horizontal box. I know I kind of accidentally deleted that. That's okay. And we'll do a box child weight of 1 with the key. And then we'll do, I guess, another horizontal box. And we'll do pages.map. The button on click equals set page p. Right. P and close overlay. Right? That feels like that should work. Let's find out. Bring it up. We got nothing. Haha. That's kind of cool. Okay, so we need to initialize the search results here, but that's easy. We can just be like, do search like that. Ooh. Okay, so this is throwing me an error because, obviously it's expecting some search results. And so I think I'm going to refactor this a little bit here, where we do, we're going to do results.map instead. So we're going to just yoink that, do this, and instead of adding the child, we'll actually just return this horizontal box. And we'll return this result map. Okay, so now do search actually returns the JSX elements. Awesome. So this works. And in this case, we're going to do search results ref.current dot remove all children, and then search results.ref. Actually, we could just do search results.map, search results ref.current.add child, render map. That should work. Yep, so there's everything. We hit search and hit enter, and now play the game. We can do M, enter. Cool. Now I could get really crazy and do on change instead of on commit. So it'll actually... Which, you know what, that's actually not a bad idea. Not sure how I feel about this. So maybe instead of just the page number, we'll actually give it... Yeah. Isn't that neat? I think that's neat. So it can be like page 2, or here, page 1. Except it didn't actually work. Wonderful. And that's probably because we need to actually change this. Yeah, okay, so p-1. There we go, that's better. Yep, so now we have a searchable PDF. Isn't that neat? Let's actually change this. We're gonna do an image instead. URL equals icon search. Width equals 16, sure. Yeah, sure. So now it's actually like a little icon here. Layout padding equals... I'm going to set this to the same as the gap here. Not sure how that's going to look. Not sure how I feel about that. Top 8. What is it? Left 8, right 8. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's much better. So how about that? We're actually going to do a... Really? That's better. Okay. I noticed that wasn't being used. Let's add another option for search on enter. And that will be false by default. Search on enter is a Boolean. We're going to say we're going to change the name of this to populate search results. And on commit equals options dot search on enter. We're actually going to extract this out. Do search, otherwise undefined. Option.search on enter, undefined, otherwise do search. Let's actually define do search. Element is going to be a text box. P is a player. And value is a string. Isn't that neat? So now we can do this, or if they add in an option that is search on enter true, we reload this. Now they have to actually hit enter to do the thing. that might be a little bit better for some certain optimizations or whatnot. How are we doing on time? Oh man, we've been at this for like an hour and a half. Yeah, so this is actually a pretty good place to kind of pause it, and in the next episode we'll extract this out into a library and actually make it somewhat useful. I might make some tweaks to the layout a little bit, maybe. So like maybe put the table of contents all the way off to the side here. Like that's actually not a terrible idea. Same with the search. We'll do the search on the right instead of being all up against here. I also want to add an option so that if the... I mean, these aren't working, right? So... Also, it occurs to me that maybe these should actually close or be disabled while it's open. I don't know. Nah. I'll mull it over a little. So we can play with that. I'm gonna actually put a bit of a gap in there too. Yeah, it's not bad. So yeah, I'll play around with this and see what I want to do as far as the icon layout goes. I might actually set them to be a different color just so that there's a little bit of a visual distinction. Maybe. I mean, that's actually not a bad idea. Let's see. 048. Let's see how that looks. It's going to be a bluish color. It's not bad. Let's try gold. It's not bad. I don't know. I'll putz around with it and see what I want to do. But that should give us what we want here. Also, I think I might end up playing with the padding a little bit here because this feels a little scrunched up. So we'll play with that a little bit. And so stay tuned for the next episode where we start to actually, where we take steps to actually deploy this into something useful and accessible for other folks. So stay tuned for that.